am thrilled that you're joining me for another episode of Ingrid's World. On this show, it's very inspiring because we're going to be talking with Angela Mitchell, who will discuss her remarkable career. Angela Mitchell is the president and CEO of ARM Consulting, LLC. And in 2006, Angela launched the company's healthcare and market access consulting services. And in 2008, she expanded the company's consulting services, and then ARMS achieved recognition as one of the fastest growing small businesses in America by securing a place on Inc. 500 magazine list in 2018 and 2019. And then in 2023, she was named Changemaker of the Year by the Community Foundation of Loudoun and Northern Fauquier counties. Angela serves on several boards and advisory committees in Loudoun County, and she was the chair of Loudoun County Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. Welcome to the show, Angela. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you, Ingrid. Thank you for having me.
So, tell us where you're from.
I am just thrilled to be here and just excited to have this opportunity to share my journey with other entrepreneurs, and hopefully my story will inspire others to, if they're thinking about taking the jump, that they take that leap of faith and begin their journey to entrepreneurship, but also keep in mind their philanthropic opportunities out there where we need to lean in and be present.
I love what you're saying. So you started your journey, are you from Virginia or are you from another part of the country?
Well, I was born in Macon, Georgia, and my parents migrated to Cleveland, Ohio in the 60s. And I grew up in Cleveland, and then I migrated to Washington, D.C. to attend Howard University. So I achieved my Bachelor's of Science degree from Howard University, and then later moved back to Ohio to attend The Ohio State to obtain my Master's in Health Administration.
What a wonderful, wonderful education. And Howard University, I love that. Well, tell us about your career, because that's what really just struck me, because you're an entrepreneur, so build it for us about your career.
Certainly. When I tell people about my journey, they're often surprised to hear that my grandfather was an entrepreneur in the South. And so during the Jim Crow era, he owned a gas station in Twiggs County. And so he was one of the few African Americans to own his own business. And then later in Ohio, my mother also was an entrepreneur. She bought a franchise convenience store. And from those two experiences, I always knew that I wanted to work for myself. I got firsthand knowledge of learning how to run, own, and operate a business. And after working for the federal government and then later in corporate America, I just decided that it was time for me to take that leap of faith. And so I really had the foundation already. I just had to put the structure around what I wanted to do. And I was very passionate about healthcare, and I still am very passionate about healthcare. And so I knew I wanted the company to focus on healthcare. But as my journey as an entrepreneur would have it, I'm also someone that loves to teach and also lend my expertise to others. And so I started meeting a lot of small businesses who were really very skilled in their technical expertise, but really didn't have the HR experience to be able to bring in their employees, establish their benefits, et cetera. And since that's something that I had knowledge and experience in, I started what I call my fractional HR services, and started doing that for small businesses and then mid-sized businesses and also large businesses. And so that's really how it started. And then from there, just meeting with the federal government, when I started focusing on trying to do work with the federal government, I would often meet with contracting officers who asked if I could perform IT services. And while that was not my sweet spot, I had had experience building a number of technology systems. And so we started exploring that as a core service, and we've been doing that for almost 15 years now.
Awesome. That's all I can say. Just awesome. And I love the fact that you're bringing to television your story, which I feel is really going to inspire so many people. Certainly, I find it inspirational listening to you. So
Oh,
when did
thank you.
you? So when did you actually launch the company?
So I set the company up in 2005 while I was still working in corporate America. And so, as many people do, as you're thinking about the year ending and how you want to start a new year, I decided that when I started the company in March of 2025, that January was going to be my time to launch my own company. So I did my homework to figure out how to structure a business and get it set up. And that fall, right before the end of the year, I let my company know that I was going to start my own consulting practice. And through that, they were they didn't want me to leave. And so they asked what could they do to keep me in. And I said, you can become my first client. And so actually, my employer at the time became my first client. And so they were very supportive and actually helped me launch my company by being my first client.
Wow. You know, I would have never imagined being able to do something like that, but you
Hmm.
make it happen. That's like
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
So, how did you grow your consulting firm? Because when I was reading the introduction, how did you get to be like this amazing company? How did you grow it?
Well, I did a lot of networking. I put myself in positions to be able to meet with the right people, to explain our services. And within government contracting, you will hear people talk a lot about teaming, and the federal government is very supportive of companies teaming together. And so sometimes I would barter with companies to say, hey, if I write proposal, I really like to write. So if I help write this proposal, will you allow me to be on your team and give me an opportunity to demonstrate my ability to do more? And so that's how I started growing the company, just really using every tool that I had in my toolkit to be able to network, and which is really hard for a lot of people to be able to network and to ask for help. But I wanted to be unapologetic about that. So I knew that if I left my career and I wanted to bet on me, I wanted to do everything I could to make sure that I was successful. And so that's really what I had to do, was to be unapologetic and not be afraid to take that leap. And so through that, we were able to work with some incredible companies and work with the clients who really, I've had clients for over 20 something years that every company they go to, they come back and hire us because they really like the work that we're doing. And so we're really proud of that, to be able to grow the company in that way. So we've had a lot of experience growing organically just by doing good work and delivering what we say we're going to do for our clients.
Yeah, I think that that's so important. And I love the fact that what you say is bet on yourself. Yeah, and I think that many don't bet on themselves. They're willing to give that decision making to another entity. And I think sometimes, they don't match up.
Yeah, and it's really hard. I mean, because there's a lot of self-doubt, especially as a woman. Sometimes you are always told that you're not good enough, that you're not smart enough, that you don't have the capacity to do these things. And I don't live as a woman that thinks the glass is half empty. I think it's half full. And I always look for the opportunity to take advantage of anything that happens to me, whether it's good or bad. And so just having that ability to do that can really, really make you very, very successful. And so anyone who's having a self-doubt about whether or not should do something, they should continue to do it. And here's a lesson I learned from a colleague that they were had their own company as well. And you know, one of the lessons I learned early was, Everyone's not going to like what you do, but you can't let that stop you. And so there could be times where you may be working with the client that maybe the satisfaction is not quite where you want it, but as long as you know that you've done your best and you try to make things better, then you can continue to move forward. And so there are going to be challenges, but there are also going to be more rewards and opportunities. And you just have to create those rewards and opportunities, and you just have to continue to move forward and not give up. And so I think people put such an unrealistic timeline on how long it takes for a business to be successful, and that's not always the case. And so sometimes you may feel like you're stopping and starting a few times, but it's so worth it if you can see it through.
Wow. So that leads me to the next question. What services are offered by your consulting firm?
So we have three core services that we offer. I talked a lot about the market access. So market access is how we started the company. And market access, we work with pharmaceutical, biotech, and medical device companies to be able to help them bring new products to market. So a lot of the new products that you see on the market, or any technology that's a high cost that may require an insurance company to for you to have prior authorization, we work with those companies to help them develop their strategies so that people can get, and providers can offer the latest and greatest technologies to patients. And we also create support programs to assist patients with getting access to products, even if they can't afford it. So that's one of our core service lines. We also do a lot of work in HR, which we call our fractional HR services, so that instead of an entrepreneur or business focusing on HR, which can take up a pretty significant amount of your time, our company comes in and we provide that services to companies so that they can focus on their business. And the other piece that we do is the IT services. So we're very heavily involved in the DoD space, working within cyber, working within cloud computing, and also providing tier 3 help desk support to our government clients.
Wow, wonderful. I think that's so important. And I hope our viewers have, their devices out and catching your pearls of wisdom about how you started it and how you are growing it. So there's a view I know that's out here, and I'm one. For those who are watching this show and now they want to start their own consulting firm, what are some of the steps they need to follow?
Yeah, I would say, first of all, find yourself a good mentor. That's number one. But also, there are a number of free resources available to help you start your company. A lot of it is available through the Small Business Administration. There are free services that are locally available that can help you get started. And the SBA is not just focused on doing business with the federal government, but if you want to open a service company, maybe you want to open a restaurant, maybe you want to do something in the beauty industry, they have a number of resources that can help you with ensuring that you're following the right paperwork to set up your company, that you understand how to market your business, that you understand how to finance your business. And I don't think a lot of people take advantage of that. Another resource that I think is extremely helpful is that if your area has a economic development organization, that you contact your local economic development office. They can also provide you with resources. A third piece, and as you know, this is near and dear to what I just finished experiencing and still are highly engaged in, is your local chamber of commerce. And so what I tell people is that a chamber of commerce is very helpful in terms of helping you network, in terms of helping you understand how to meet other businesses that may be in a similar industry that you can partner with. But I also tell them that all chamber of commerce are not equal. So find the chamber of commerce that has members that are aligned with the type of business that you want to own and operate. And that chamber of commerce can help connect you so you can develop relationship with bankers, so that you can help develop relationship with individuals that can help you start your business, and sustain your business. And I think those are key pieces that most entrepreneurs either are not aware of, or maybe they tried it once and it just didn't work at that time. But sometimes I say maybe you weren't ready for that resource. And so revisit that resource again, because maybe now is the time that you are in the right place at the right time.
Wow. So that, I mean, that's quite poignant. And I was jotting down everything you're saying here. Find a mentor, look for resources. And then you said something quite poignant. Not all Chamber of Commerces are created equal. What?
Yes. That's correct. Because some chambers just have members that are all large business. And if you're a small business and that market is just all large businesses, that may not be the chamber for you. There are some chambers that offer courses to help you with marketing, to help you with understanding how to do your social media. And so you want to look for a chamber that's offering something that meets your needs, because the membership should be two ways, right? So you don't want to go to a gym that's just offering one type of class. If you want a variety, or if you want just one type of class, make sure it's the right gym for you. And so I tell people that the same thing about the Chamber of Commerce, and that you have to engage. You know, membership only does not allow your business to grow. It is membership, and it is putting in the work. And so you have to make sure that you are attending the right events at the chamber, where you know that you're going to get the information out, or you're going to meet a potential client, or you're going to meet someone that's going to be willing to share information on how they were able to start and grow their companies.
I love it what you're saying. So, I mean, just as a sidebar, how did you determine who your customer is? You know, how did you figure that part out?
Well, I knew from the healthcare piece that we're doing that it would be all biotech and pharmaceutical companies.
Ah.
But the HR piece, because that was not how I originally started, and it was something I expanded into. Um, a lot of those were government contracting companies initially. And then when I joined my Chamber of Commerce, I started meeting nonprofits and realized that nonprofits are so focused on the mission that they don't really have time for the people side of it. And so they became a new client that I didn't even think about. But the point that I'm trying to make is that if I had not joined the Chamber of Commerce and identified that there was a whole nother customer base out there, I may have missed out on that opportunity. And so from that, it just started to grow. And I knew the government would be a really great client as well. And so, really, just studying what the government is purchasing. And that's another key. A lot of people will say, I want to do federal government contracting, but what they're selling is not what the government is buying. And so, I always tell people to go out and look at the solicitations that the government is putting out to see if that's something that you are going to offer, or if you are speaking the government language, because the way the government speaks in terms of what they're purchasing, you may be offering that, but you may call it something else. And so you have to make sure there's alignment with what they're buying to what you're trying to sell. And so those are some of the key things that I look for in order to grow my customer base.
Wonderful. So, briefly, what was it like being chair of the Loudoun County Chamber of Commerce?
You know, it was beyond my wildest dreams. First of all, when I was asked to be the chair, it was not on my radar. And it was at a time when, there was a lot of focus on ensuring that, all voices were being heard. And I wanted to make sure that if this is something that I decided to do, that I would have an impact for all of the members. And so I would say that it was beyond what I thought it would be in a very, very positive way. And the reason I say that is because it gave me exposure. It actually built my personal brand, but it also built my company's brand. And that's how I got those opportunities to serve on various boards. And so from that, people knew who Angela Mitchell is, and the work that I was performing for the chamber. It was a lot of work. But I enjoyed the work. I got to meet a lot of great people. Like, hopefully that I was instrumental ensuring that the work that the chamber is doing for their members, that it helps them grow their business, that the policy and advocacy work that we're doing on, affordable housing and workforce development is helping businesses want to move into Loudoun County, but also want them to be able to hire within Loudoun County. And so those are some of the things that I was really, really excited about. And then to be able to work with our nonprofit communities. I was not aware of how many nonprofits were based in Loudoun County and the need here. And so it gave me that exposure to understanding that community as well. And it just really, really was a phenomenal opportunity. And I will tell anyone, if you are interested in serving and working with your chamber, positioning yourself to be the chair of the chamber is an extremely rewarding experience and opportunity.
I think you don't sleep, Angela, because you're running a phenomenal company, and then also the Chamber of Commerce. And tell our viewers, how many businesses are in the Chamber of Commerce?
They have over 1,000 members in the Chamber of Commerce. But I would say I would not be able to do any of this without having a phenomenal team here at my company. And so my team that I've been able to put in place and work with and nurture over the years really allowed me the opportunity to do some more work within the community. And I am very thankful and grateful of those opportunities. And during the time when I was the chamber, we had tremendous growth as well, which tells me that the leadership that I've put in place and that their commitment to sustaining the company really paid off. And so that has allowed me to be able to do both of those things at the same time. But you're right, it was like running two companies.
Wow, I'm amazed. And I also am amazed that, you have such a wonderful attitude. You glow, I just know you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. So I have to ask you, what's the key to your success?
I think the key to my success is knowing myself, right? And so that to me is really, really important. Because when you understand who you are and your purpose, it allows you to be able to give freely, unconditionally, and you want and hope the best for those around you. And so all I can do is be my authentic self. And I would hope that authenticity is what allows me to be the best human I can be. And then also make sure that I am serving not just my community, but my employees. I will say one of the other reasons I wanted to start my own company is that I wanted to create a place where people felt valued and that they can work on meaningful opportunities and that they can live their best life. And because if they're living their best life, I'm hoping that that will also allow them to be great citizens and that they will contribute to their community as well. And so those are the things that drive my success. It's just helping people be their best selves.
Oh, it's beautiful. It really is. This interview has gone by too fast. We have like 2 minutes left. And so I want to ask you a question. My last question is, for those viewers that are out there and wants to be the next Angela Mitchell, what's your suggestion to them? They want to be just like you.
I would say make a plan and execute it.
Make a plan.
Make a plan and execute it. And don't let the naysayers tell you you can't do it. And keep moving forward.
Wow. I think that has to be really key about staying positive and moving things forward in such a way. I think that one of the things that I get from you is that you're very intentional about the things that you're getting involved in, and it's really wonderful. And I have to go back, and I love the fact that you shared with us your history and what does it take for you to be there, and your grandfather and your mother. Oh my goodness! Thank you for sharing this. So I would say, any words of advice? You have 1 minute, a word of advice for anyone out there?
I would say, lean in. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to lean in, find a cause. If entrepreneurship is what you want to do it with a purpose. Come to serve. If you're just thinking about becoming rich, you're going to miss the opportunity to give so much more of yourself. So if you're taking that risk, know that there are other people out there who are watching you, and you never know who you're going to influence and impact. So stay focused and stay positive.
Wonderful way to come to serve. That is a perfect way to end our interview. Angela Mitchell, what an honor it was to have you here on Ingrid's World.
Thank you so much, Ingrid. Appreciate you.
Love you back. Okay. I wish you continued success, onward and upward, and being the role model that you are.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching the show, and connect with me on Facebook at Ingrid's World, and follow the show at Ingrid's World VA in X and Instagram. And remember, you can find the show on Ingrid's World LLC YouTube channel and ingridsworld.org. This show is dedicated to Christopher Hicklin. Chris passed away October 25th, 2024. He encouraged me to create Ingrid's World TV show. Nearly every recording of Ingrid's World, Chris was present at the television station. Chris was an integral part of the show. His zest for life and was responsible for bringing 145 episodes to life at Fairfax Public Access. His laughter, his warmth, and unwavering support left an indelible mark on all who knew him. Chris worked with television guests, helped me set up the stage, and most importantly, he nearly reviewed all of my scripts. He had a positive attitude and a can-do-it spirit. Chris was loved, and I'm forever grateful for him. He will be forevermore remembered by me, his wife. Thanks for watching.